Coach, thanks so much for joining us on the call today. If you'd just give us your thoughts on your season to date and what you expect to see in the upcoming matchup in Orlando, please.
Yeah, really pleased with our football team. Throughout this year, these guys have responded to each situation. Last week we finished up our regular season at home with our senior day, and our guys went out and played a truly complete game. Played well in every phase, and were able to beat a East Carolina team that was coming off a big victory. And our guys came out. We started fast. Our seniors have done a remarkable job in elevating the expectation and the standard of what it is to be a Memphis Tiger. It's the winningest senior group in the history of our program. Some phenomenal individuals and great players, but even better leaders. And it's been fun to watch them progress. And throughout this year, there's been ups and downs. There's been some adversity, some unforeseen circumstances that have come our way. And these guys, each and every week, stay focused on the job at hand and have went out and played at a high level, which has given us an opportunity to win the West Division and now have a chance to go and compete for the American Conference Championship. And we get to play a phenomenal football team, one that is tremendous in every phase of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. So we know it's going to be we know the opponent. We've been to Orlando. We didn't, that outcome didn't go too well for us last time. So we've got to have a great week of work and do everything necessary to try to give ourselves a chance to be successful in this game.
Take questions for Coach Mike Norvell, please. *1 on your telephone keypad will put you in the queue. The operator will introduce you.
We'll go next to Chris Fanini with The Athletic.
Coach, have you ever game planned for a single team so many times in one season now? Because this is really kind of the third time for you guys.
Yeah, that's a great question, Chris. We were talking about that as a staff, here this weekend or after the game. We prepared so much, over the summer because it was going to be our first conference. It was our conference opener as a week 2 game originally scheduled, and then when that game got canceled and bumped back, we went through the process, once again, and now here we are back at it. But it's been kind of neat to see because each situation we've got a better opportunity to realize one, who we are, what we're good at, some of the strengths and weaknesses that we have within our own football team. But on the same hand, you get a chance to better evaluate who your opponent is. This is a team that we're playing in Central Florida that is, they are strong in just about every area, and so they have not shown many weaknesses, and that's why they're undefeated. And so each time you try to build a plan off of what you think you can make yourself successful or put yourself and your players in the best position to achieve that success. And it is always a challenge when you're going against such a complete football team.
You coached against Stanford twice when you were at Arizona State in one season. What are the difficulties and maybe things that are nice about playing a team twice in one season?
It's really, that's a remarkable kind of, comparison because we played Stanford early in the year when I was at Arizona State, and we came back in the championship game later. And so you really being able to the self-evaluation, and there's things that, went on through that game with our first game at UCF, and much like with Stanford, that it was a learning experience, to see, how things looked, how things, we're able to have success or maybe not so much in the first one, and then you've got to kind of build off of that. And with so many games in between and so many opportunities to see how each team has progressed, you're really gonna have to build off of some of the good that you saw, and then try to make sure you implement things that can help you have success here the second time around.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Joe Ritty with the Associated Press.
Hey, Mike. Just with facing a team twice, how much of an extra challenge is it that both times you now have to go on the road to face them?
Well, I wish we would have done a little bit better job on the first time we faced them. I might feel a little better going into this one, but it is a challenge, and it's one that when you have to go on the road in a hostile environment, they've earned it. When they went undefeated throughout the season, they earned the right to host the championship game. So it's something that we have to deal with, and obviously we'll present some different circumstances. We've got to be able to control the crowd noise. We've got to make sure that whenever you're traveling the day before, adjusting everything, especially with the championship game schedule. But at the end of the day, we've got to go out there and play to the best of our ability and make sure that we're focused on the things that we can absolutely control. And if we do that, it's going to be a great matchup to be a part of. And I know our kids are excited.
Just also too, from what you've seen on film, how much progress have you seen their quarterback Milton make since you faced him the first time, and also how dangerous is Hughes in the return game for them?
Oh, the Milton has done a great job throughout the season. He started the season, pretty fast. He was playing well very early in the year, and so we got to see that firsthand. Not only what he does with his arm, but what he can do with his legs and extending plays. He had a couple of big plays against us, especially early in the game, that extended drives, and was played at a very high level. But you've also seen him be put into a variety of different circumstances. And I think last week against South Florida in a back and forth game that everybody there was a great deal of excitement, and it was necessary that you went out and made those plays in stressful situations, and you could see his maturity and just the comfort that he has within the offense, and that's why they're playing at such a high level. And then you see Hughes as a returner, kickoff return, punt returner. He's a phenomenal athlete. Does a great job at corner for them. He's the guy that can definitely impact any game, regardless of the time, because he's so dangerous when he gets the ball in his hands. So you have to do a wonderful job in your coverage. You've got to be accountable to all your lanes and spacing, and then when you get the opportunity to get hands on him, you've got to make the tackle, because if you give him one seam, he's definitely capable to be able to take the ball back to the house on you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Shannon Green with the Orlando Sentinel.
Mike, after your team lost to UCF, you guys sort of went on a tear there, averaging 53 points a game. I'm just curious to know, was there something that shifted in your team mentally after that loss, or were they looking to sort of make a statement?
Well, we were, to be honest, we were embarrassed for how we played. We turned the ball over 4 times. We lost a possession, on our kickoff return unit. There were things that uncharacteristically showed up within that game, and we didn't score in the red zone. And a lot of that was due to what Central Florida did to us. And so, but our guys, we knew that we had to come back to work, and it was all going to be about how we responded. And I was really proud of our team. We played in some close games. After the fact, we've been up, we've been down, but our guys, the way that they prepared each and every week to improve and to make sure that they were ready for whatever opportunity presented itself. That's what I've been most pleased with throughout this, the winning streak since we left Orlando.
I know you've been asked about the preparation for this game, because I've obviously prepared for 3 times. A lot of differences since you guys first faced each other. How much tape do you watch when sort of re-preparing? You just look at like the last 2 games, or is there a certain amount you try to look to get a more clear view?
Yeah, I watch just about every game, and so it's there's the fact that this is a team that we're playing later in the season. We got to watch, including our game. We had 3 games, from when we played them, and so we had a pretty good sense of leading up into that. And then, obviously all the film from last year. But we've tried to go back through, and evaluate, some of the areas that UCF has, grown and developed throughout their season, adjustments that they've made throughout this year, adapting to their personnel, and that's all kind of part of our weekly progression to prepare for each game. So that's something that we're doing. We started with it right after the game, and that we had Saturday, and we'll continue to do through this week.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Brian Moss with TigerSportsReport.com.
Hey, Coach. A lot of press goes to Anthony Miller and Riley Ferguson, but one guy that had a great season as well is Darrell Henderson, over 1,000 yards and averaging 9 yards per carry. What can you say about his game and how important he is to your offense?
Darrell's had a phenomenal year, and not just what he does, running the ball, and you talk about the 9 yards, yards per carry. You're trying to maximizing every opportunity he gets his hands on the ball. Well, he also does a phenomenal job as a pass receiver, catching the ball in the backfield, whether it's on screens or being able to be released on vertical routes. He's a tremendous athlete, and then you see him as a pass protector, and just the role that he plays. I truly think he's a complete back. We've got a good group that's back there to keep be able to keep guys fresh. Him and Patrick Taylor have kind of carried the bulk of the work throughout this season. But I think Darrell has had a special season. Both those guys are true sophomores, so they're still learning, they're still gaining experience. But he's definitely a special player.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Trace Trocco with Nightline.
Coach, how has your defense changed or evolved since that last matchup in Orlando?
Well, it's I think we've grown with experience. That game in Orlando, we were playing. We had a few guys out due to injury. Early in the season. We lost 3 starters in the first game, so we were still trying to figure out who we were. Anytime you have to insert that many young guys, and we were replacing all those starters with freshmen, so we were still getting a sense of exactly who we were. We had some miscommunication there early in the year with just guys really working to become a cohesive unit. I think we've seen that really come into play as the season's progressed. We were a team that came into the season. We only had 1 returning starter in the defensive backfield, and so guys like T.J. Carter, Tito Wyndham, Josh Perry now that are all starting for us. They were all newcomers into the program. I think you see their confidence has grown as with each opportunity. And we have John Cook, who's a senior back there that's done a great job with our leadership. You look at the versatility of Jannard Avery, who's been an inside backer and also as well as an outside linebacker for us this year. There's been times that we've moved him up and played him at the defensive end position. So being able to maximize guys' playmaking ability and trying to be able to adapt to their skill set to put them in the best position to be successful, in each and every game. And so that's something that I've really been pleased with our coaching staff and the players that we have, because, they put in a lot of work and time in their preparation to make sure we're communicating better and that we have an opportunity to play at a high level whenever the game does kick off.
What did UCF do defensively to limit Riley in the worst game of the season?
I think that when you watch them, they did a great job of mixing coverage. They were able to get a little bit of pressure. We weren't able to. We had some success early, being able to move the football, but we had a couple turnovers. That was the biggest thing is we got in the red zone 4 times and only scored 1 time with 1 possession. And so I think for the season, there's only been 4 times total that we haven't scored in the red zone. So that's been an area of great strength for us. But in that one game, we had 3 of the 4 opportunities showed up in that one in that one game opportunity. So that's something that really kind of put us behind. And then I thought in that game we pressed a little bit, trying to maybe do too much at different circumstances throughout the contest. And like I said, they did a nice job. They when they had a chance to get their hands on the ball, they made interceptions. They created pressure. Just really kept us from ever getting into a full rhythm that we're used to or that we like to play at.
Thank you.
We'll go next to Andrew Doty with Hero Sports.
Hey, Coach, over the weekend, Tom Bowen said that you guys are working on a contract extension, which would be your second in less than a year. What makes your job such a unique opportunity that makes you want to continue building the program there?
Well, I mean, I've always believed in Memphis, and our program, the progression of where this football team has come from, and where I believe that we can continue to elevate to is remarkable. And when I made the decision to come here, I believed that it was going to be a great fit for myself, my family, the area that we're very comfortable in. I went to school a couple hours down the road, and the number of student athletes that you can recruit to this institution, and that I think can achieve a great deal of success in the schemes that we run and want to implement. And it's just been an incredible transition. And to be able, when we first got here, we talked about trying to take the next step to continue to show the success of Memphis Tiger football. And this year we wanted to continue with that progression, and that's something that winning 10 games for only the second time in school history, to win our first divisional championship, those are things that really point to where, not only where we are, but where we believe we can go. We've had the top 2 signing classes in school history. We've got a really young football team, and so all the pieces, I believe, are in place for us to continue to grow. And the support of the community, the administration. This is an exciting time to be a Memphis Tiger.
Thank you.
Coach, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to seeing you in Orlando this weekend.
Thanks so much.